Thank you very much for staying. Welcome back to the marketplace. Now, in our very first story, government has initiated steps to reduce the cost of marine gas oil by over 20%, following a similar development in aviation fuel last August. Now, President Mahama said this, coupled with the $1 billion port expansion project, would make Ghana the maritime port of choice in the West African sub-region.
President John Mahama made the revelation at the official opening of the Ghana Airport Cargo Center and Swissport Cargo Facility at the Kotoka International Airport. The multi-million-dollar cargo complex is the first ever public-private partnership project in the local aviation industry between Air Ghana and Swissport International. The project is expected to make the Kotoka International Airport a regional hub and leader in the provision of aviation services in the sub-region. Addressing the ceremony, President Mahama highlighted key infrastructure projects government is undertaking aimed at making Ghana an investment destination of choice.
As we improve our road network across the country and working hard to extend our railways and our ability to grow more and target the export market expands, the Ghana Air Cargo Center will ensure that we can meet the standards required by the destination countries and the different aviation zones. Ladies and gentlemen, we're targeting not only the aviation sector, but also the maritime sector. We're soon to sign an agreement for a $1 billion expansion of the Tema Port, also on a PPP agreement. This will make Ghana the maritime port of choice for shippers and other maritime companies. I've also explored with the National Petroleum Authority a reduction in the price of marine gas oil by more than 20%.
CEO of Air Ghana, Marwan Tabosi, said the project was a demonstration of how infrastructural development can be achieved through public-private partnership.
We believe this project has laid down the foundation for others to emulate and partner the public sector in the provision of infrastructure and other facilities required for the socio-economic development of the country. The off-balance sheet financing provided by the PPP arrangement will make it possible for more projects to be delivered without further straining the public purse and resources, while creating the environment for the private sector to expand and grow.
On his part, CEO of Swissport Ghana Limited, Christian Zeffel, was confident about the economic opportunities the new facilities would create.
We are extremely proud to be associated with this initiative that gives Swissport International the opportunity to contribute to the economic development of the country by creating new jobs and also by bringing the air cargo at Kotoka International to the next level. Your Excellency, your recent bold decision to embark on the Ghana National Single Window Program has led to simpler and faster clearing times, benefiting the whole public and private stakeholders. I would like to ensure you that our facilities will provide the needed infrastructural support to assist in making Ghana the destination port for trade business in our sub-region.
The multi-million-dollar cargo facility is also the most advanced airport cargo facility in the sub-region.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Emmanuel Bombandi has called on ECOWAS Commission to urgently intervene to resolve challenges faced by Ghanaian traders and travelers using the ECOWAS Brown Card insurance whenever they travel to other member countries. Emmanuel Bombandi made the call at the 33rd Ordinary Session of Council of Bureau in Accra. The meeting was under the theme Relationship between the ECOWAS Commission and its established institutions and agencies.
The ECOWAS Brown Cards issued by Ghanaian insurance companies are not respected or are not being respected in some countries of our member states, particularly some of our francophone member states, leading to some motorists being harassed for possessing ECOWAS Brown Cards issued in Ghana when produced as evidence of motor vehicle third-party insurance cover. Ladies and gentlemen, this cannot continue. In view of such development, which is rather retrogressive, a larger number of our haulage vehicle drivers and owners, and Mr. Baba and the rest will testify, have resorted to buying insurance from other countries to avoid the harassment and inconvenience the experience. This is in no doubt against the tenets of the protocol and gives cause to all of us for real concern. You are in the industry and you know this. The protocols are the result of the decisions of the highest level of our leaders, the authority of heads of states and governments. They ought to be respected. It's as simple as that.
Now, local cement manufacturers are calling for stronger restrictions on the importation of cement into the country. Government in August passed a new law to regulate and ban the bagging of imported cement from non-ECOWAS countries. This is aimed at boosting local cement production whilst also controlling the influx of substandard products. But the local manufacturers say this goal has hardly been achieved so far. President of the Local Cement Manufacturers Association, Dr. Dawson Amoah, addressed a press conference.
It is therefore mind-boggling to see the ascendance of imports of cement from China by Seoul and Fujian, from Korea and Nigeria by Dangote Cement Company, despite persistent petitions that we, the manufacturers, that we have the installed capacities to meet locals' demand. Just recently, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, with the collaboration of the Cabinet, Parliament, and support of the local cement manufacturers, as part of the legislative instrument to regulate exports and imports of Portland cement into the country, LI 2240.
Also live on the marketplace. Now, the Minister of Petroleum, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah, has outlined his outfit's move for Parliament to pass 3 new regulations to augment the new Petroleum Exploration and Production Act. Now, Mr. Boah explains the 3 regulations are expected to strengthen operations in Ghana's oil and gas sector and ensure value for money. Now, the 3 regulations will border on petroleum measurement and environmental health and safety, as well as data management issues. According to Emmanuel Boah, the petroleum measurement regulation has already been presented, while the remaining 2 are expected to be laid as the House resumes sitting soon. But to what extent would these regulations impact on the industry, and how would they add value for money? Now, to help us discuss these issues, we have petroleum economist Dr. John Gachi on phone to tell us more about this. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the marketplace. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, now, just recently the country passed the much-awaited Petroleum Exploration and Production Bill. Now, we thought that this was enough because it serves as the main framework to regulate the country's oil and gas sector. Now the Minister of Petroleum is calling for 3 more regulations to complement this particular law. What is your take on this?
Well, I think that is correct, because that will enhance effectiveness in the industry. Because as it is, if you take Petroleum Revenue Management Act, for example, the preamble requires that revenue should be collected effectively. But there are many things that ought to be done in the industry to ensure effective collection of revenue. You will need to engage in proper measurement within the industry. If you take the Petroleum Commissions Act, and you take the new law that has been passed for the exploration and production, you will realize issues such as data management came up, what should be done. Issues such as measurement came up in the Petroleum Commission Act. But you will need a regulation as to how to methodically go about issues of regulation, issues of measurement. Then you you also need a regulation to deal with issues of how to address what the law says should be the way of managing data in the industries. When this is done, it brings about more clarity. The step-by-step that needed to be taken regarding these issues will be clearer to the participants in the industry, and that make our industry more closer to the standard internationally. So that is why it is a good thing for the minister to attempt to do.
Take these measurement regulations, these regulations one after the other. Let's start with the measurement regulation. Why should we as a country be concerned with the measurement of our oil? Are we not too sure of what quantities of oil are churned out on the Jubilee field and of course other upcoming fields?
Well, I think that is not the issue. The issue is that you are entering into an industry which has existed for some time in some countries. Countries have come to a certain level of standardization, certain level of doing what we are doing now. You are only aligning your industry to what pertains in other jurisdictions so that it can be very closer to international best practice. That is why this is needed. And measurement is also linked to fiscal engagement. So you need proper measurement in the industry, for example, to know the right quantity that you are getting in terms of gas, in terms of crude. All these things are needed. And beyond that, there are issues regarding penalty when certain things are not done. All these things ought to be put into regulation to ensure proper administration of the sector regarding those issues.
What about environmental health and safety? I thought we already have an EPA and a petroleum outfit under the that EPA outfit, which ensures that environmental issues are complied with. Why do we need more regulations on environment and health?
Well, I think we have a very broad regulation on environment, health and safety, but perhaps that pertains to the solid mineral sector. So you would need a similar thing within the petroleum sector to ensure that the same level of attention to health and safety issues are addressed. We do know if you do not take health and safety issues seriously, they can affect the environment in a manner that will be very costly to life, very costly to all of us and other living organisms around us. So it is very important. We all do know the oil spillage that occur in other countries, the effect it has on them. We do not want to wait until those things happen to us. So it is important that those things are done so that we bring our industry to a level that pay attention to health and safety issues and commit itself to the environment.
All right. Now, last but not least, data management. Why should we be eager to have a data management regulation to monitor our environment?
Yeah, I think when you look at the petroleum exploration and production law, it is very clear how data should be dealt with. Data is not to be transferred to third party without recourse to the minister, and there are processes that ought to be taken. But perhaps the law only talk about what you should do with data and what you should not do with the data, but the regulation will spell out the processes that you need to follow when you are supposed to deal with data. If you want to transfer data, the processes of reporting to the minister, asking for permission, clarity, all those things will be spelled out clearly in the regulation, so that clarity is brought to data management, so that no player in the market will do things that is not clear to them in the area of data management. So that is good for the industry also. And data is very sensitive in this industry. So I think that coming out with a very clear regulation in that direction is also very good.
All right, so when we put all this together, how do we expect its implementation to be like? Because we have a broader framework, which I believe will have aspects of these sub-areas embedded within this particular statute monitoring or regulating our petroleum industry. So which one comes first in the implementation?
Well, I think we have a regulator already. We have the Petroleum Commission.
Okay.
When all these regulations, you see, some of these things we're talking about, if you take the Petroleum Commission Act, these things are already stated in there. They're only bringing the regulation to give them the step-by-step procedure to deal with these matters. So it only strengthens the administrative and the technical implementation of some of these things by the Petroleum Commission.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor, for that clarification. Dr. John Gachi is a petroleum economist. Just on the marketplace, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Thank you very much for staying. Welcome back to the marketplace. The country manager for Rwanda Air, Denis Ruliza, is optimistic the airline is set to improve its services and take a sizable portion of the market share in Ghana's aviation industry as it decides to partner some domestic airlines. Ghana's domestic sector is yet to maximize its potential as some setbacks, including the lack of financing and key infrastructural development, have hindered its development. Speaking at the launch of Rwanda's new Airbus 330 aircraft to boost flight services between Accra and other destinations in Africa and beyond, Mr. Ruliza hinted of some negotiations with other local carriers to help expand its customer base.
There's no gainsaying that Ghana's aviation industry has improved significantly, with many international airlines trooping into Accra to do business. Even though the country is yet to have a national carrier, the industry is leveraging the vibrant competition generated as it hosts these international airlines. One such airline is Rwanda, which launched its plush Airbus 330, the latest of Airbus series aircraft, to boost its services in Accra. The aircraft is fitted with modern in-flight communication and entertainment devices, as well as enhanced comfortability. For now, Rwanda operates about 19 destinations and hopes to introduce a flight to Mumbai in India from Accra soon. The country manager, Denis Ruliza, emphasized the excessive competition in the aviation industry and noted the airline is negotiating partnership with other local carriers.
As you know, the Ghanaian market has a large part of its traveling public outside of Accra. You've got traders in Kumasi, you've got other people in Takoradi, and we've got local airlines that do fly there. So definitely we're in negotiations with them, where there's a lot that has to be considered in aligning our products to make sure we're offering a streamlined product all along. So we are currently in negotiations, yes. In terms of challenges, you know, there seem challenges and there are others that may occur due to market trends. For the ones that we view prior, just like any other national carrier, we remain prepared. We remain prepared, and we're always, and then there are the unforeseen challenges, like the market trends, like oil prices. There are ways and means in which within the industry there are cushions for that, you know, things to do with fuel. There are cushions for that. So we remain abreast, we stay on top of our game.
In an interview with Joy Business, Captain Kojo Kobna talked about how efficient the new Airbus series is for business.
To convince the traveling public in Ghana that this is the best airline to join. We have some products. We have Wi-Fi on board. You have the first few minutes free, and then you can buy Wi-Fi so you can keep in touch with your business partners, those who want to chat with their family and friends.
Now, some women engaged in straw basket weaving in the Upper East region are appealing to the Export Development and Agricultural Investment Fund, EDIF, to complete shelters the fund has started for them. The women who currently weave their baskets under trees complain about the unfavorable weather conditions which affect their work and impact on their profit margins and their economic livelihoods. Upper East correspondent Albert Sori has more on this.
The Bolgatanga Basket Weavers Cooperative Club, of which the women are members, submitted a proposal to the Export Development and Agriculture Investment Fund, EDIF, and got funding to start building shelters for the women who currently sit under trees to weave. The first tranche of funding was not enough to complete the structures. At Sumbrungu, several of the structures are at the lintel level. No windows and doors have been fixed, and the buildings have not been roofed, exposing them to harsh weather. The women sit under trees close to the buildings to weave their straw baskets. They want work on the structures to be fast-tracked so they can have access to and make good use of them.
We have been weaving under this tree for a very long time. Sometimes the shade is not enough for us, especially when it is very sunny. And when the Harmattan comes, we can't even sit here and work because the wind distracts us. They came and started this structure for us, so we are praying that they finish it for us so that we won't have to struggle this much any longer. Farming is not lucrative, so we weave the straw baskets and sell them to be able to cater for our children. We pay their school fees, buy their books, and provide food for them through this trade. But weaving under the tree comes with a lot of challenges, especially when there is a new design we are supposed to weave. We need to be in our numbers so we can teach each other, but that is not easy under the tree. It affects the orders we get from customers.
Now, moving on, reports say Samsung has permanently halted production and sales of its Galaxy Note 7 smartphones after failing to correct a problem that was causing the devices to burst into flames. The loss of one of its flagship smartphones is a major embarrassment for Samsung, which earlier was forced to recall 2.5 million Note 7s shortly after the device went on sale in August. Company executives issued a series of apologies after the South Korean firm attempted to fix the problem by switching battery suppliers and updating the smartphone software. Samsung on Monday advised all customers to stop using the phones, sending its shares tumbling by 8% in Seoul, Korea. The world's biggest smartphone maker says it was killing off the phone entirely. And on that rather unfortunate note, we conclude this afternoon's package of the Marketplace. Thank you very much for your attention, and do join me again same time tomorrow for more interesting developments in the world of business. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Good afternoon.